going live. Happy Canada Day. Wait, and I'm paused there.
Into some makeup and did my hair. I'm getting used to my bangs, and I'm really liking my outfit.
The mirror outfit. We dress up for special occasions here.
Show off my panties.
Yeah, these are bottoms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
They're
So cool.
the same color as my shirt. That's also green. Might not see.
Oh, sorry. Wardrobe. Fashion. You're gonna end up kicking my teeth out. All right. So we have some really, really big news to share. COVID. She be done. She be done because she not be a pandemic. To everybody who's a Star Wars fan and who understands the true meaning of the name Darth Vader, I'm sure figured out pretty soon that the name COVID means live together. And it is not a hoax. It was actually a program created to save us. And here we are, safe and sound. Unfortunately, all of these variants had to happen in order to continue the lockdown, to keep us safe and to keep our work happening, because our safety means that the good guys finally won. So Canada, take a bow on your birthday, because a whole lot is changing in the world, and it's your citizens who got it going. But here's the thing. There's a whole team all around the world that has been involved on different levels of this project. And this project is not just a project, it is our lives. It is our illegal imprisonment being put to good. And your leaders were not lying to you about COVID to hurt you. There was a much bigger picture here, and they had to keep things on lockdown until we uncovered everything that needed to be uncovered. So you're saying, what's she talking about? Now, this isn't performance. This is the actual truth. This is the news. This is what is happening. COVID-19 is just the flu, the cold, but data had to be presented in a certain way, because the only way to flush out the serious criminals was to stop us all in our tracks. And while that happened, something unexpected happened, which, as I told you guys yesterday, we've had a lot of loss in the last year, just like most of you. And among those losses were 3 of Ruby's birds. Mm-hmm. And now, when those losses happened, we were under surveillance, and I gave access to all of the spies, all of the hackers, everybody, months ago, to watch everything and to analyze everything and to watch every single movement we make and take it all literally. Take it all literally, because you've got a viewpoint that you'll never have again, which is an aerial view that shows clear patterns with a positive or negative impact, which means as the data comes in to a system, for once, it's actually being filed somewhat appropriately, because movement has to have a reason during a lockdown, right? So that immediately eliminates so many possibilities, which it did. Mm-hmm. And when Ruby's baby birds died, we had funerals, burials, and what did you bury them with, sweetie?
The items that they loved the most, their blanket. Luna didn't have a favorite item, so she got buried with and we're soon gonna plant a flower over her to put her at peace.
So when we did this, when we buried our loved pets in the yard with blankets. That created a pattern from the sky that affected our, I guess, if you were looking for something that is not organic in the ground, it's going to show up. And those blankets did. And that led to the discovery of.
Thank you.
Yeah.
On Facebook. I cannot pronounce that, so I'm not even going to try.
Mr. Yusuf. We'll go with Mr. Yusuf. So the uncovering, I'm sure everybody's been wondering, how on earth did they all of a sudden uncover all of these sweet children who sadly died at these schools? But here's the thing. They were found because of the blankets. And today I had this moment of a huge sigh of relief, because if many of them were buried with blankets, then that means that they were buried with love. Babies aren't buried with blankets unless they're being treated with love. Now, we have yet to have all the answers to what happened. We don't know. But what I do know with absolute certainty is that they weren't alone and they were not unloved. Whoever put them in the ground did so with love and respect. So, that may be a small thing to celebrate, but we're finding the truths and we're getting to accept them and learn why things happened the way they did.
Mm-hmm.
And so this little girl right here and her love for her birds has led to the discovery of all these buried children. And so there you go.
I brushed my teeth. Now they look extremely white now. I have the white teeth now. They went from yellow to white.
Welcome to an autism home. Most people just do it and they don't announce it. We don't really see the point in doing things if you're not going to get to enjoy every piece of the thing. Okay, you're faking. Is it my boots? You want to talk while you're on back here? There is nothing.
Hello, Prince Clear. Yes, that's what you're using.
Okay, now I've got to walk them through a whole lot of stuff, and I've got to stay as focused as I can, and it's going to take me a while. So I'm warning you now. I'm going to do it while we put together some snacks. Is that a good idea?
Okay.
Because I like to multitask.
But can I talk to the Facebook one?
It doesn't work that way, sweetie. I'm announcing global news. This isn't a this or that.
Oh.
This is important, so that then we can celebrate. You see, until I tell them all this stuff, they don't necessarily have reason to celebrate. So you know what I'm going to do? So you know that I wrote a code. You know that I'm a genius. You know that I infiltrated the FBI. And, well, I'm kind of running the world now, except that I'm not, because I redistributed power before I ever had enough information to take power. And that was the only way to do it. And what you're looking at is a stack of computers, the most important of which being this laptop.
Can I see it?
Yes, you can see it. That laptop belonged to my ex-husband, who was an executive in one of the world's biggest multinational reinsurance companies. And that laptop contains all of the evidence that proves what happened during the global financial crisis. I'm sure you all wondered, how is it that we've just gone through a global financial crisis and yet there's still money? Like, what is going on here? Well, as I've explained to you already, they start gambling. When the rich are in charge and when the rich are bored, they gamble. That's what they do. And our insurance policies became a huge underground gambling ring and the evidence of how that came about and everyone who was involved illegally and every step of how it came to be is on there because I traveled with the company that created it and my own luggage was used. But here's the thing, the contents of that have been dumped out to the world 5 times and they're all over the place. So this is that's just the hard drive. That's everything in it has been gone for a long time. That was the first thing I made sure to have elsewhere, not just in my possession, because you hear everybody talking about Nazis and you can't understand why everything is being compared to Nazis. Well, I'm going to explain it to you right now. At the end of World War II, economically, the world did not change the way it should have. And the reason for that is the Nazis weren't gone. And there was still all the money and there was still all the illegal activity going on. It just found a new place to live. And, you know, when you get the smartest people in the world figuring something out, the first question they ask is, where do you go? Everything is about gambling. It's always a black market thing. But so how do you, if you hate human beings that much and you want to pick and choose which ones get to live or die, you need 2 industries. You need pharmaceuticals and you need insurance, because one of them you profit from death and health in every way, shape, or form. I mean, that is what they do. It is a big gambling ring. That is what insurance is. It's gambling. It's legalized gambling. And then pharmaceuticals is the top of the echelon of the drug industry, the illegal and the legal drug industry. All of the drugs that are in circulation in the world are run by the same people. But here's what I had that your leaders didn't have, because when you're a public official, when you're a career politician, you're not on the inside of this stuff. You know it exists, but how do you infiltrate it? Well, see, I've been on the inside of everything because I'm a beautiful woman. And guess what beautiful women get invited to? They get invited to the party. And so as you watched this kookiness on Facebook and on YouTube, while it was part of a much, much bigger picture, you see, the internet is a multiverse. The real world is one world, but we are dependent on a multiverse that runs our single world. And all of the money, the big money, was mostly in a part of the internet that we don't even have access to. So I had to get in there too. So I started dressing sexy and doing crazy things because gamblers love pretty girls. And I was already under illegal surveillance. So I thought to myself, I'm not the only one under illegal surveillance here. There's lots of us because we've all got technology. So let's see where this leads me. And I went down the rabbit hole and I ended up in a human trafficking ring. I ended up in the most sickening thing you could ever imagine happening to your beautiful daughters and sons, your heroes, your celebrities who are trapped in things that you can't even imagine. So I infiltrated. I got in there, and my team, as I joined in and started competing in their silly show, which is somewhere in the multiverse. I don't know what it looks like, but on some levels of the multiverse, it looks like I was in a karaoke competition, but what I was actually in is a sex trafficking ring where they were trading young girls online because they have all of us live through surveillance, and they have been auctioning us off for diamonds online to dirty old men to watch us. That's been happening. So I put myself inside it, and my team started to let me infiltrate the other girls, and announce my presence, and we turned it around. We started performing together to let them know that we're watching them just like they're watching us. And we changed it. And we continue to practice and perform because that was the best part of it. That was amazing. When all of a sudden we realized that we were actually singing together, that we're not anyone's toy anymore, that we got them. We got them. But first we had to be there. So I also attracted all the money because my life has led me to celebrities, everybody, because I've had a fascinating life. And so I invited everybody in that could get in. You see, you and I, we don't get in there. You have to already be in the inside to be given access. So lucky me, I had wealthy and famous friends all around the world. I just had to give them the right to come and see what's happening and to get them to gamble on the girls. Do you see? We needed to get the good money in with the bad money and turn it around. And guess what? They made a lot of money gambling on the right girls, and it's all going to go to good now because we're going to keep singing and dancing, but for the right reasons. And we are going to create our show, and we are going to do everything else that we've been doing, but we're going to do it for us now. And that second part, that human trafficking situation, unfortunately, that was the part that had to keep you guys under lockdown until I could announce, like I did yesterday, and now I am assuring you all, it's done. The wrongs are being righted. Everyone's safe. You were being controlled to a certain extent, as much as you are vulnerable, by your technology. And there was a whole lot of bad stuff going on, but the only way to stop it was to get inside it. And for whatever reason, I guess God made me for you guys, because that's the only way I can perceive any of it as having been okay, you know? So here's the cool thing. By the way, how did they know how to read my code? I've told you before, when you say you're autistic, they know you tell the truth. So if you're telling a lie, there's a reason for it. And the reason is what you follow. Right, Ruby? Do we lie?
Not really.
Not really. But if we do, there's a good reason, isn't there?
But that's just us. People, anyone can lie.
Yeah, absolutely.
This-
But for the good things, the big things?
I don't lie. Neither do you. We don't really lie.
We don't need to, do we? There's no reason for it.
Even a white lie, have guilt for it.
Yeah. So we are kind of these renegades inside the internet, except that we're not. What?
The renegade.
Ah! Except that everyone needs to be aware that there was no malice, there was no harm done. It was honest to goodness. If you walk out your door today, anyone that you see standing, they're still here because they deserve to be here. Trust me, it's all being taken care of. And people who have lied to you about COVID, I think they thought that I was going to get to this point much quicker. They weren't preparing for a woman with severe PTSD and so much happening that processing the information that was being thrown at me was going to take a little bit longer. Plus, they only had that much of what I was actually giving them. So their patience in waiting for me to explain. You see, I sent the authorities the contents of this years ago, and we've had break-ins where they've tried to steal it. It's hilarious. You should see my basement. I knew they'd still break in and try to get things. So the basement's a complete disaster. So it would make it a really fun adventure.
And also, Frankie used to sneak down there and take a big
Poop.
dump.
So we left the poop scattered on the ground right around the collection of computers, because you see these ones, these also contain evidence related to my mother, Elizabeth Louise Davies, who will be going to prison for, yeah, you know what? You have every right to laugh. Yeah, you are alive today in spite of your own grandmother. And she's going to jail.
Yay!
Because she endangered children. And for all I know, if she was willing to have her daughter and her granddaughter killed, what was she willing to do to any of the other children who were under her duty of care as one of the heads of our Canadian education system? You know what? And that's not for me to decide. I just hand over the facts, the evidence, and I give access to my big brain with my data analysis skills. So that's the current lawsuit. That's the past lawsuit. That tells you what happened during the global financial crisis of 2008. That's the evidence for that case that links everyone responsible for the human trafficking ring. Now, the one with my mother, well, that's more Canadian specific, but that also is the evidence that relates to the illegal surveillance. See, they couldn't prove surveillance until someone could actually prove that harm was done to them and prove in the real world that they were surveilled. So, but how do you do that when the people surveilling you have been convinced that you are bad and you are to be watched because you are a danger? I mean, it is such an uphill battle. But hey, we climbed the frickin' mountain. We are at the top. It is Canada Day. COVID is bullshit. Get out, celebrate. You're calling this a heat wave? We are going to turn up the heat even higher. You guys
No!
We're staying live. And now here's the thing. We've been living transparently for a year. I have had our house completely open because as soon as I realized we were in danger, I knew that people had to see our activities. We live transparently. We have no secrets. But why would we? We got nothing to be ashamed of. We're good, normal, healthy people. Sort of. Just kooky.
By the way, put Zach in chat or in the comments if you think my outfit's better, or put Carmen.
Queen Carmen, come on, I can air out.
Queen Carmen, if you think her outfit is better.
Oh wait, you don't get to see this over there. When I'm, wait. Hey, they can't see me doing this. Get out of the way. Get out of the way, kid. Wait. No. This is like really, it's worth the price of admission when I do this. Come on. I am going to continually do inappropriate things so that you know that you are all under surveillance too, and you have been all along. But the more I do inappropriate things, the more you won't be judged for being human. So I'm going to push it to the limit because it's freaking fun. We're taking you to the kitchen now because we're going to find junk food. It's Canada Day.
Oh, let me get the phone because
Thank you. Oh, I'm stuck in my cellulite.
You have to see me upside down. That's nice.
We didn't clean the house for you.
By the way, do you like my
Okay, no, it's got to be on the stand, honey. Can't put it out.
Let me just grab the stand. I have to take the out of the stand to grab it.
Oh, by the way, that's all up in the cloud too. This is all just the hard stuff. You don't think I would have gone to the lengths I've gone to without having long ago made sure all the online information was in the cloud. I mean, I guess my greatest fear was that I'd try to load one of those up one day and it just wouldn't. Here, let me get it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So, Canada.
Is this drink okay for me downstairs?
Yeah, I'm not having alcohol. I don't have any. I would totally have a drink if I had something to drink, but I don't. So I'm going to smoke weed instead. Oh, I have a weed drink. Oh, okay. We're going to try. I've never tried this before. Very well. Strawberry, hibiscus, a weed drink. Hey, normally I have to shout out all the right people. I usually like Seth Rogen's grapefruit so much that I even came up with a commercial, because remember when he wanted to find another flavor for people who don't like grapefruit? Well, me and the dog had a chat outside back when we had an igloo on the deck, and the dog was like, beef. And I was like, yeah, beef would be good. Like beef stock weed drink. I would drink that.
By the way, I'm trying to remember what I was gonna say. It makes me so angry when I forget. Oh, I remember. Share the live streams on either one you're on. You're probably on Facebook, but if you're that one person watching us on YouTube, go share the live stream. We would love and appreciate if you would. Since
Okay.
we need those views. Yes.
The quality of the woman lays in the quality of her drinking receptacle. Does not smell like pickles. That's a good start. Nope, we're going to use one of Dad's mugs. Ruby, you can choose for me, but I'm kind of thinking I like that one.
Okay, you may use that one.
May I?
I want that one.
This one?
No, the one next to it.
Oh, this?
Yes, I like the
Okay.
color.
My stepdad, Ruby's grandpa Fred, who passed away on March 16th, he was a collector of mugs, like an extraordinary collector of mugs. You should have seen his collection.
Mm-hmm.
They had to have a custom armoire built just for his mugs, this huge oak thing. But the coolest items that he collected from all around the world.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the ones that Ruby got to choose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like this deep blue one, so I got the second one of it that Grandpa also had. It's just a different design of the blue flower, and around here, you know, where this light kind of grayish blue is, it's white. So I have the options between those two. I thought they were really pretty. And
Awesome.
I sold a lot of mugs.
You went straight?
I took a lot of mugs.
Yeah, you got about 5 of them. Yeah, I think there were a couple hundred there, so I wouldn't feel bad about it. I hope that they go to. Actually, since all of my mother's property will be evidence now, hopefully they're all still there. Because wow, yeah, I know that my stepsister and stepbrother would be really, really thrilled to have their dad's stuff. There's something good. Okay, authorities, do not let her sell or give away things because she didn't allow him to see his own kids for 16 years. And the least we can do is let Fred Long's children, you want to help?
No, but
Actually have the things that he would have left for them. You know, we were so blessed that we were physically here and we got to spend time with him, not right at the very end, unfortunately, because it was too dangerous for us, given my mom trying to kill me and all.
Yeah.
But you know what? Yeah. If her property is evidence, please be aware that Kanie and Rob. Sorry, I met him so many years ago. They should have their dad's stuff. They're the ones who have the memories. I mean, the whole point of stuff is memories, right? It doesn't mean anything if it's just junk that doesn't mean anything. Happy Canada Day, where weed is legal. Yeah.
And Facebook and YouTube. No one's on YouTube. No one's watching YouTube, but on Facebook, share this live stream to Navy family or something like that. Since we would love if they would watch, because
we'll only ever see one person on YouTube, honey. When I handed over the rights to the YouTube channel, I'm actually just only one person has to then feed that. But either way, the person I handed over the project to, because somebody's running my project. There's actually one individual or a bunch of individuals who cracked my code first who are running the show, because I had to be left to just analyze all the data as fast as possible to figure out what the hell is going on and to find out that yes, COVID, no, yes, it's a hoax, but not a hoax in the form that you think. It saved the world. COVID is what the geniuses of the world had to do to get us safely out of Australia and keep us safely here while I gave them all of the information to our surveillance. I mean, they got us out, but then they didn't know what the heck they were looking at, other than knowing that my mother had been the one that tried to get me killed while they're watching her from above, showing up at our house. And so if you're wondering why these variants kept happening, it was to keep things in lockdown each time she made another move on us. It's being dealt with.
By the way, Instagram, you can, talk up the chat, and I might even respond if I'm not too awkward to say anything. Because a lot of you guys were in chat, but I couldn't respond because my mom was talking about something very important, and I didn't want to talk over.
That was really nice.
But now, since we're just, chilling with our drinks, hanging, you can talk up the chat.
So all the things that we had to do to save our lives, and see, now we saved our own lives. We didn't save your lives, because the way the code I wrote works is that in order for it to have gotten to this point, the entire multiverse had to work in unison enough to work through my code. Now it's extremely complicated. Oh yeah, the tissues are here, honey.
Yes. I just
and it happened because the code was able to work, because they were able to actually locate the people. And I'm going to give you a very specific example. Bill Cosby has just been released from prison. Yes, I have something to do with that. And it's not specific to Bill Cosby. It's specific to the charge that was laid against him and what I uncovered about the use of that charge and a group of celebrities. You see, your heroes and celebrities in this world we've been living in, they don't have autonomy. They are trapped in contracts. And as we saw with the whole Harvey Weinstein thing, there was a whole lot of really awful stuff going on in Hollywood. And, I talked about the Nazis before. Well, you wonder if they were still up to what they were up to. What do you think it is when the children of celebrities are in a human trafficking ring what do you think that is? So they have been active contributors to this project. They put their money where their mouths were, and they got involved. Instead of screaming and yelling that this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, they listened to me and they said, you're right. We have to keep playing the game and we have to change the game. So they sang and danced with me, and we called it rehearsals. And guess what? It was rehearsals, right? We turned something horrendous into the preparation for the world's greatest show. Ta-da. So any of you who are watching me thinking, how is she still in this competition? Well, I wasn't actually in the competition you thought I was in. I was trying to free your daughters from an online human trafficking ring. And guess what? They freed themselves. Your children, your teenagers, your young adults, generationally, if you want to know who has been absolutely stupefyingly genius in this, it's our kids. They're brilliant. They're the ones who understand this multiverse. They're the ones who have figured it out. I mean, it's going to take ages for all of this to make sense to you. And I realized early on that that's awesome, because every step as we uncover more of how it all works. We're going to turn it into every possible story and every possible movie, every possible way to learn about the law and fix the law related to that event, because there's no better way to learn than through art. Art is the highest form of communication. It was gaming, now it's art. It'll be gaming again when I decide that it's gaming, but it's also a game. Oh yeah, that's the part I forgot to tell you. Designing this like a game was kind of backfired a bit, since I didn't know that they were actually trying to help me. Anyway, it all worked out. Sorry for the inconvenience though.
By the way, if you can guys can get us to 10 people on here, we will try and give as many people shout outs from the chat. Just some things we can't read or mispronounce. So I don't even try with those names because I don't want to mess them up.
I needed her all along, didn't I? You guys have been watching me flail like a fish on dry land because I'm not an internet person. I've been off the internet all this time, except to study and research and write scholarly papers and build weird shit.
I've been watching YouTube since I first got my first iPad, and I was like 5.
Our team found Ruby before they found me, which is really something. So for those of you who think you're watching a miracle, yeah, you are. You sure are. But we all did it. What I've been trying to explain about the multiverse is, for my code to have worked, there had to be a great enough majority of positive people making the right decisions, because I was doing it in a binary world. It was going to be good or evil who would win at every step, because that is how the internet works. And so at every step, the only way we could uncover more is by praying and believing that there were enough good people in there as there were bad, that it was going to keep stacking up that way. And it did. But what I would say is the coolest thing is that people who I would have judged as working for the other team at the start, I think I would change my judgment, and I think they would probably change their opinions of me now too. It's amazing how we have all been so misled. We have been messed with, but it was our own doing, because we allowed ourselves to be manipulated by our technology, and we gave it bullshit. We fed it complete bullshit and then expected it to treat us kindly, and it didn't work out that way. So the more we feed it honest, good stuff, the better it's going to treat us. But honest, good stuff isn't whitewashed. See, this is what happened, is that this binary code started to believe that good is going to church on Sundays and never drinking, never swearing, never having sex except to procreate, and so on and so forth. A very biblical definition, because that's what it's been fed. This is the information that's available. So it took that as being good. And then it took pretty much every real thing that humans do, but that we pretend we don't do, like drinking and getting drunk and throwing up on the floor. Okay, maybe we don't all do that. I do that. Not often, but it has happened. And it doesn't mean I deserve the fast track to hell. It means I made a mistake. And, swearing doesn't make you a bad person. The smartest people on earth swear. I mean, trust me, we swear and we do strange things. Mm-hmm. And so we have to actually show artificial intelligence and each other what normal looks like. And this is normal, but this is the fun version.
By the way, Mama, we never want to swear on camera because of the YouTube algorithm.
Well, YouTube actually, YouTube is going to be a little bit better behaved because they've been breaking the rules themselves. Now, I know that there are certain things they would have not changed in current time because I made them a part of our project, which makes them part of the evidence. Our YouTube channel is evidence. So it's what I know based on that is that I cannot judge YouTube, nor can I judge Facebook, because they wouldn't have been able to make adjustments while I was still working through the code. So what I say is it's their actions from now on, as we all determine what we think is right and fair. I mean, are you our publicists? In which case, great, we'll collect our paychecks. What are you? Are you a service provider? Like, we need to all decide what these things mean. But yeah, it's a new world, guys.
My favorite candy.
Trust your leaders, okay? Trust your leaders because they were in an impossible situation and they all just had to pray to God that I was going to be mentally well enough to work through my own code and get us where we stand today. And a whole team of people did. And if you are watching this, you're a superhero. You're a real life superhero because you are part of the algorithm. If you've been a part of anything, if you've watched in any way, then you've been a part of the positive algorithm that allowed us to infiltrate every level of the multiverse. And all they had to look for were the same people that were everywhere. All access doesn't always mean a good thing.
I feel slightly bad for my computer because I give it like dumb stuff, never information. It's just sad. I feel bad for my computer.
She feels bad for her computer. Well, okay, so there's the thing. So my whole team have been watching. So how's she gonna spin this? And I'm not. There is no spin, but that's exactly how this works from here on out. Is we take every possible spin of the truth and we turn it into the coolest stories ever. I love the biblical version. It really is a hoot. I've been living Jesus Christ Superstar a little more than I necessarily ever planned to in this life. Oh, the code's written in music. That's how I communicate with my team. Is I have my playlist and they have access to it, because once you've reached a certain level of my game, which is my code, then you gain all access, which means you can actually infiltrate. And what I do is I do what the music tells me to do. I act out everything the music is telling me to do because it's freaking fun. But if you do that because you think that would be really fun, well, guess what? We might suddenly be in your phone. And if somebody says, hey, take the headphones off or put the headphones on and sing at the top of your lungs, you may find yourself in the middle of a competition. You can choose whether to be there or not, but it's fun. And they may mess with what you really sound like too, by the way. They can do that.
Oh, we only have one person watching right now.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Those numbers don't mean anything, honey.
Okay.
There only needs to be one person in either place for it to be fed elsewhere. Because the moment it became a big lawsuit, there's just someone managing our stuff. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
And then they feed that, and they may manipulate it, and they may not. If they do manipulate it, then it better be cool.
Mm-hmm.
I had to trust. If we don't trust, we don't get anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What?
You're covering the entire camera and saying nothing. So tell them something cool.
Well, I decorated my cubby yesterday or the day before that. Believe the day before that.
Okay.
Maybe.
I have a feeling after what I just said that I can probably shut one of these down and we're good. Now, that's, of course, now this laptop, which was custom designed for us for this lawsuit, which actually has this is the one I use for all of our footage. That's also evidence. Everything in our lives is evidence, but it's ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to show them? It's hot down there, but do you want to show them your cubby? She's going to take
Sure.
Facebook.
I'm gonna snatch Facebook.
Watch.
It's now mine.
That's a handle?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I like to hold it. Just
Hang
hold
on,
it
hang
though
on,
with
hang
my
on.
hands. Because
But then you can set it down anywhere you want. See? All right. You're on. Oh, you can stay here with me. There. One of you.
I want to have fun with Facebook.
Oh, no bedrooms or bathrooms, but yeah, you can show them your cubby. This is crazy, but you know what? Everybody watches us anyway. I can jump. Steak. I don't care how crummy it might be, it's steak. And I want it. What do I want? First, chips. It's not a pizza party. And if it's not a pizza party, then it must be a chip party. Because in a binary world, it's got to be this or that, right? So if it's not a pizza party, then it shall be a chip party. Except that I'm not even hungry. Huh. Well, now. Maybe I should wait and see what Ruby wants. It's probably a good idea. I think anybody else is actually celebrating Canada Day. I'm going to move outside, I think. Set you up out there. Because I'm going to want to share all the lights later. And it may just be us, but so what? It's still going to be weird. Yeah, I am. She's back.
So we're back inside.
How cool is she? I got the coolest kid in the world.
Sit in front of
Fred would be so proud of me right now, drinking bubbly weed out of his special mug, wearing a sundress kimono with a fedora. Yeah.
What do you guys think of my makeup? Put it down in like the chat area that I'm just figuring out how to do this. These filters.
You listening to her? I am.
Very fast.
I think I should smoke some weed while I drink some weed. Oh! Okay, I need that. I need that because I haven't explained the coolness of my dress. Okay, one thing I'm going to beg you not to do is to actually,
What?
have you gone and put a weird filter on? Because I won't be able to turn it off.
No,
I don't want to be a cat.
I just put a lighting filter.
Cat. Oh. That's awesome. Oh, yeah.
Stuff. So, is it hot where you guys are? It's very hot for us. It's boiling hot. You might see my makeup melt off, but that's just because it's really, really
We'll be back.
hot.
I'm going to set you up outside. Bye.
And like my choker, I have another one. They both arrived.